Hi friends, welcome. Today I want to introduce to you a relatively new creator friend in my life. His name is Michael, also known as Kiddox on Instagram. He is a talented New York City photographer, and we had an online conversation the other day about his work, and I wanted to share a moment from that conversation where we were into some lively discussion about street photography. I figured this would be a fantastic follow-up to the New York City photo walk, and I plan to be sharing more videos from this conversation over the coming videos. You can check out Michael on Instagram, like I said, because that's where he resides. If you went to LinkedIn, you would not find Michael, I don't think, unless he has some sort of venture capital operation going on that I don't know about. You can also find the full conversation on the James Red podcast. Okay, this one was very, very interesting to me. Very well done photo, sir. We have a reflection of a kid. He's standing in a puddle. Also in that reflection, in the background, is that very tall residential building, which is the top on the top floor, I think, is like $8 million to live there. It's ridiculous.
8 million. I'm pretty sure it's like 20 million.
Oh, is it up from there?
It's 24 million, something like that.
Holy crap. Okay.
Yeah, it's expensive.
All right. Well, either way, I have some work to do to buy it. So yeah, beautiful collection of elements. It's a rather minimalistic photo in a sense, where you only have two buildings and the kid's kind of in shadow. It's very dramatic light. That's kind of hard to do in New York City sometimes. It's not a very minimalistic place. So whenever you can get rid of a lot of things and end up with a photo that's this simple feeling, there's no skyline around this building. It's just kind of two buildings. I think that's fantastic. So how did this photo come to be?
So this is taken from Central Park. There's like a puddle. I was just walking and then I saw this puddle, and as I was walking past the puddle, I saw the reflection of this building. And I was like, oh, interesting. Let me just stand here.
Let me hang out.
Like a weirdo, because I'm like looking at I have the camera pointed at a puddle.
Yeah.
And people are just walking past me. It's so funny. And at first I was like, wow.
It's okay. In New York City, you can kind of do whatever you want and get away with it, right? You probably could have been naked while looking at that puddle, and I think people would have been pretty cool about it.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I was just constantly trying to get the right angle, like trying to get cover as much of the like scene as I can, just so I have a lot to work with in post. And all of a sudden, like, this kid runs, like his kid and his mom runs past my frame, and then the kid comes back into the puddle and just jumps into the puddle with his
beautiful
shoes,
serendipity. I love it.
He just like came up, he passed me, and I was like, oh, okay. It would have been cool to get a photo of him with the reflection. And he just came back and he just jumped on the puddle.
That's so awesome.
So this is like the moment he like jumped into the puddle, and I flipped the photo upside down, so it would be like upside up.
Man, well, good timing. Fantastic. Sometimes it's really hard to get a second chance. It's hard to get a first chance, but sometimes it's really hard to get a second chance with things like this. And then when the second chance comes, a lot of times if you're not paying attention, you can miss it. And I think that's part of the art of photography and street photography uniquely, is you can easily be focused on something else. You're looking at something on the back of the camera and you will miss a moment, but those moments are happening all the time. And disciplining your mind to be prepared for those moments is something that takes a lot of practice. And this is a great example of that practice paying off. Well done.
I do like how he is. I mean, he was a kid. He was like maybe like 4 feet tall. I like how he's like just as tall. He's portrayed as pretty much taller than the building.
Oh, you know I mean? Okay. Yeah.
So I feel like he's like looking down towards, I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's a very thoughtful way to approach it. You know, one thing I noticed last time I went as well was I took a photo. I just shared it yesterday at a subway station, and there were two men walking. They were looking down at their phones. There was a fence separating me and them, and then behind them were two eyes, like eyes on the tiles, like it was like an art piece. There were two eyes looking directly at me. And the interesting story about that photo is one, I did not see the eyes until I
Oh.
looked at it in Lightroom. I was like, whoa, there's eyes there. But when I was looking at the photo, I realized there's an interesting story being told here that is very, very reminiscent of how street photographers in the past have been very thoughtful about the photos that they take. And if you ask them, they have, a very philosophical reason for why the photo exists, right? Mm-hmm. And in this case, I noticed that, you have these eyes looking at us, and eyes indicate focus and attention, right?
And awareness.
We have these two guys walking, both looking down at their phones. So their attention is on their phones. Their eyes are on their phones. If you want to get really philosophical about it, the fence between me and them is like them separating themselves from the world or something like that. And I saw all of that and I was like, oh, this is kind of a thoughtful photo, but it wasn't intentional.
Yeah, no, I did see the photo, and the way the eyes are, like, the eyes on the wall, they're looking right at you.
It's startling, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, wow. Like, I don't know if it's like, I don't know who these pairs of eyes are, but whoever it is, they're watching.
And they're aligned with the people too, which just
Yeah.
makes me so happy. It's aesthetically wonderful. Cool. Okay, so thank you. So moving forward, if you made it this far, I love you sensually. And you, like I said, you can find the full conversation on the James Rebb podcast. Have a lovely day.